Friends, I wanted to share with you some medicine today. I wanted to share an invaluable tool considering the environment we live in this modern world, this contemporary society. And this dialogue is largely predicated on the consequences of living in consumer culture, which is the age of addiction to sensation. Behind me, we will have many of the modern culprits. We're going to dive into them in just a moment. But I wanted to give you an example of our typical morning. Perhaps your typical morning, you wake up and before you can even muster the strength of getting out of bed, we've checked Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and every other social media application. It's like a routine at this stage. We're just doing the rounds. It's almost as if our body has been hijacked and can do what it wants without us first coming to grips with the things we need to do in our day. So before we've even considered a shower or even clothing ourselves, we are already feeling this pull of where's my phone? What's going on in this world? I need information. I need stimulation. And this is where the addiction to sensation appears in myself and yourself and everyone around us. If it's not social media, it could be video games or even food, mouth pleasure. So you can find your particular poison in smoking, drugs, alcohol, video games we mentioned, food or snacking, sex, masturbation, jerking off, pornography, gambling, TV, Netflix, caffeine. There's a lot, and it's not surprising that we will resonate with one of those things. And I think it would be unfair of me to mention that these are not inherently bad. I don't like looking at things as right or wrong. There is only what is going to be effective and resourceful towards your goals and what is not. If drinking a glass of wine after a hard day's work gives you the means to relax and recover for the next day, then by all means, who am I to tell you any differently? It's resourceful for you. However, if playing video games after work is eating into the productivity of your side hustle, perhaps this is something we need to bring more to our attention. I believe you can justify some of these more modern habits with moderation. However, due to the abundance of these temptations behind me and the ones we've mentioned before, I believe that meditation is not only advantageous, but necessary to mitigate a myriad of different health complications from the emotional, physical, and the mental. Talking about things like how social media mental illness is so inherently related with one another. So I want to talk about how meditation is fasting. When we meditate, we fast. In our stillness, we are choosing to accept the reality of this moment. First, being mindful of our environment. With our eyes closed, we can only hear sound. We hear the birds outside, the wind, and cars passing us by outside. When we voluntarily journey inwards, we become present with our truth. And what I mean by that is we become one with the individual personality, spirit, whatever you want to call it, that is untouched by the influence of the external world, by these things behind us. Without relying on the five senses, we come to know our thoughts. And when we overcome the chattering of those thoughts, we become into a state of being. And this is the you purged from external control or bondage. You are never more raw and you in stillness. I want us to come to know the entity behind your very eyes that you look out of. We're going to speak about perspective, joy, and the truth that meditation brings. So it's, for myself and my experiences, being still for 20 minutes daily offers tremendous perspective. In this time, you have cultivated awareness of your thoughts, and in that, your impulses. That voice in your head which bullies you into quitting in search of something more stimulating. If you're sat again with no stimuli, nothing that is bringing about a certain sensation in you, you're going to notice those cravings, those pulls to check your phone, to go on YouTube, to watch TV, whatever it may be. And you are going to be in search of something more stimulating. Again, addiction to sensation appears. Becoming aware of this impulsivity in this way is invaluable, as it is key for perspective whenever our habits are concerned. In the internal battle between these moments where you are going to give into the cravings, you will question the purpose, you'll question the why. And it is in these incidents, and often in my own reflection, I ask myself whether this urge is either serving me or is it bringing me further away from my ideal? Is having a cigarette right now bringing me closer to the person I want to become, or is it pulling me further away? And you can think of ideals in terms of goals. Is it bringing me towards my goal, or is it taking me away? There is great strength in truth in meditation and subsequently fasting. When you choose to abstain, you remove temptation from you, something amazing happens. You discover what actions are aligned with your becoming. Clarity of intention is unavoidable, as you will see through your bullshit and your excuses. Oh, I've had a hard day today. I'm gonna have that beer. I'm gonna watch that dirty video, whatever it may be. You justify it to yourself. And you'll be able to see through those poor excuses when you are given that perspective of what could I become, and that journey towards that ideal. You will ascribe certain values towards certain actions in this way. Your choices will become self-evident as they bring you not only joy, but meaning. I'm in joy when I'm reading, writing, speaking to you now, and teaching. But not only that, these choices overflow into the lives of others and yourselves watching this right now. It is because this value flows to others, it gives me meaning. In this way, I'd always choose to do these things, because every small decision I take to write, read, or even record this video in front of me now begins by bringing joy not only to myself, but also hopefully bring value to other people. Somewhere along this life that we live, we will come to realize that moral obligation stretches far beyond ourselves. And if you subscribe to that, subscribe to me.